manual, download the developer version, send emails to CoolTrade, change your password, open a new brokerage account, so you get a whole bunch of things that you can do there. The second one here is if you are running a strategy and a stock made your watch list and you didn't like that particular stock, you could go ahead and enter it and click the add symbol to my block list. And what that's going to allow you to do is block that symbol. Then the robotic trader will never consider buying it. Show charts. We do have this feature. It'll give you some more advanced charts and allow you to apply technical indicators to them for some of you folks that are more sophisticated that want to use that feature. My exceptions, what that's going to allow you to do is if the automated trader sends an order to your broker and the broker can't fill that order for whatever reason, then it's going to get populated into the exceptions folder. You don't need to do anything with it. It'll just go ahead and get deposited back on your watch list unless you want to call your broker and pursue that opportunity. My subscription, if you're a Jim Cramer fan and you had an account, you were following his Action Alerts Plus, you could go ahead and enter your username and password, and that would allow you to follow Jim Cramer. So if Jim tells you to buy a stock, the robotic trader will have the ability to open up that position for you without you having to be there. So that's for folks that like to follow Jim Cramer. Personal. So if you wanted to add a stock into your long watch list or your short watch list, you could do that right here. And that would allow you to go ahead and say you wanted to add Microsoft or JP Morgan to your strategy. You could just very easily enter that into my symbol and then click the button that says add my symbol to my personal watch list. And then the robotic trader will apply the rules of the strategy to that stock. My preferences, so this screen right here is going to allow you to do a few things. You're going to have the ability to change the font size, change the colors a little bit. You're going to have the ability to auto-accept CoolTrade terms and conditions. There's a box there if you want to check it. It'll send you an email every time the automated trader executes a trade. Also, kind of the lower right-hand corner, it says stop all round trips when day trading remains or less than one. What this box is right there is it's going to enforce the SEC day trading rules just to keep you compliant so that you don't make more than 3 round trips in a 5-day period. So that's all built in there for you. Reports is going to show you how many trades you did today. You can follow it for the day, the week, the month, the year, so you'll be able to see all of that. Rules is just kind of a quick reference, which is just to show you the rule of strategy, and the robotic trader is going to tell you what the calculations are minute by minute on each one of the rules in your strategy. Sectors. This is an interesting one. It gives you the percentage of stocks up versus the percentage of stocks down minute by minute during the trading day. And it's interesting to watch because you really see the high-frequency traders move the market back and forth. And that's what the institutions, a lot of the institutions are doing is the high-frequency trading and moving the market back and forth. It's interesting to watch that. Strategy Wizard, this allows you to access the back end of the system. So the two strategies that are checked on this one, I'm looking at a screenshot here because we're not during market hours, but whatever strategy you have checked is the one that the robotic trader is going to be carrying out. And this is the gateway to the back end of the system. So if you want some video help, it's here. We actually have a whole library of new videos that are going to be available to you in the next week and a half or so. Those should be up there, and it'll walk you through all the features, how everything works, how to build strategies. So you're going to have access to all of those new videos. But the ones that are there now, you can use them, and it'll tell you most of what you need to know. So down below here, each one of these systems will carry out a long and a short strategy for you, and each one of these systems, so what it's telling you here is it'll run a long and a short strategy, and then what times you have your robotic trader set to start trading and stop trading. next box over here is just going to give you some market data. It's going to tell if the, where the Dow is during the day, the NASDAQ, the S&P 100, and the E-mini, just as kind of a quick reference so you can see where it's at. Toggle screen allows you to change views of your robotic trader. So if you wanted to basically minimize your robotic trader, kind of cut it in half so you kind of make it smaller but still have it up and can view it, you can use the toggle switch there. So the next one down below, if you want to manually buy or sell stocks, you can use these buttons here. It allows you to buy long positions, add to watch list, sell your short positions. So you have the ability to, and flexibility to do some things manually with the system if you decide to do that. Now over here, the first box is going to tell you what your account value is, your funds allocated, and the funds available. So on this particular screenshot, this is one that's doing some day trading. So this particular one, it tells you what the current account value is, if you're using margin or not, and in this case, it was a day trading strategy, so it was using a lot of leverage, 4-to-1. But it's, it'll tell you if you're using 2-to-1 margin, 4-to-1 margin, or what you're doing here. Now down below here, I'll walk you through this. The first column is going to tell you what symbol the robotic trader owns, and in this particular case, it's a stock FAZ, which is part of a day trading strategy that somebody was running. And then the side and action, what that's telling you, the side is telling you if you have a long position or a short position. So a long position, you enter position with the expectation that the stock is going to go up in price, and that's how you're going to profit. On a short position, you're actually expecting the stock to go down, and you have the ability to profit from that as well. So the side tells you which, long or short, and then the action tells you what you're trying to do. So on a long position, you're trying to sell that stock for a profit. On a short position, you have a right to buy it and fill it, and if the stock goes down, profit from that stock as it's going down. So that's how that works. Position quantity here, the next column is going to tell you how many shares you own. So it's going to tell you how many you own total, and then the quantity per trade. So this particular one did a whole bunch of trades in one day. So it's opened up the first position, bought 500 shares, and it tells you what the next column is the entry price, what you paid for it, and then the limit price is the goal. So this one here, the entry price was $40.38, and the limit price, which was the goal, is $40.14. So the price to go is the next column, which is 0 because it reached the goal. And then the position change was 25 cents. So position change percent is calculated here, and then the next column, it tells you how much money you made. So it's on this particular line, it made $110. And then the next one is the today's P&L, which tells you how much it moved during the day. So that really factors in more on long-term strategies, not necessarily day trading. But this column here, net P&L, is going to tell you how much you're up on your inventory. So anything that you have in this middle section here is considered your inventory. When you close a position, it's actually moved to your reports, which are back up here. You can track your closed position with reports, and you can track your inventory and look at the net P&L and see where you're at with your current positions. So just to go over these boxes here, these columns here, bid price is here, and then we have the ask price. So that's telling you what the bid and the ask are. And then the next column is the volume. So it's telling you how many shares have exchanged hands during that day. This below there, if you see the letter P, what that means is that it profit protected the gain on this particular symbol here. So you're either going to see, when you've reached the goal, you're either going to see a P, which means the robotic trader is protecting that profit. You have not reached your goal yet, but it's protecting that profit. So if the position reverses, then it's going to close it out and take the money. And the other one that you would see there is a Y, which would indicate that you've reached your goal. So that's volume and reached, what that indicates. And then the change over here and status is it tells you, if it's open or closed. And all of these positions, this is just one day on a high-flying, fast-moving ETF, and it did very, very well. It closed all of these positions during the day. So it did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trades in one day, and ended up profiting $783 from those trades for the day. So down below, you scroll down and I'll talk to you about the watch list real quick. The watch list contains all of the stocks that you can either set manually, put the stocks in there that you want the robotic trader to trade, or you can select a strategy where the robotic trader is going to apply rules to different stocks, and the ones that meet the rules are going to make your watch list. So the long watch list is the stocks that the robotic trader expects are going to go up, and the short watch list is the list of stocks that you expect to go down. So that's a quick overview of the of kind of what the trader looks like and some of these buttons and features here. What I'd like to do now is skip over to the back end of the system, which is called the Strategy Wizard. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can move this out of the way. And I can't right now, so I'll go ahead and come back to this. The back end of the system is where we either select a strategy that we want to start simulating with, or we can build a strategy. So what I'd like to do is go through one of the strategies for simulating with you, so you can start to get familiar with the robotic trader and how it works. And this is called the Dow long strategy for simulating here. So this one here is set up for a $50,000 account. And this is one of the preloaded ones that comes right with the system. And this is an example strategy for simulating purposes. And right here, the first box is this is where we tell the robotic trader how many shares we want to trade. So the way this one is set up is it's trading 100 share lots. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And you can tell the robotic trader how many shares you want it to buy. And this is all just very easy to use. It's all point and click. So this one's set up for 100 shares, but if you want to change it and tell the robotic trader to buy 200 shares per lot or 300 shares, it's very easy to do that. The next one here is called max shares to be purchased per stock symbol. So if you're running a strategy and you're playing a range of a stock, you may be playing a range between $25 and $30. So what the robotic trader can do for you is trade 100 share lots and then allow you to add to your positions when the stock is going down, buying more at a discount, and then when the stock goes back up, it's closing out LIFO. Last position in is the first one out. So it's always closing out the most profitable positions as it's trading around in the range. That is the first box. Now the second box here, lot size based on fixed dollar amount. What this one allows you to do is you can give the robotic trader further definition and tell it, I don't want to spend more than $3,000 on a position, or you could say $1,000 or $2,000, whatever you're comfortable with. You could give it further definition and tell it not to spend more than a certain amount per position. The next one is maximum investment amount per stock symbol. So let's say that you just wanted to trade, let's say you're willing to spend $1,000 per position and a maximum of $3,000 total per stock symbol. So then the robotic trader would know that you're willing to trade 100 share lots. The most you're willing to spend is $1,000 per position and a maximum of $3,000 total per position. So it gives you some more flexibility if you want to use that feature. The next one here allows you lot size based on buying power. So if you had a $50,000 portfolio or a $100,000 portfolio, what you could do is you could tell the robotic trader, I don't want to spend more than 3% or 5% of my portfolio on any given position. So you get a lot of flexibility, and it's all point and click and really easy to use there. So let's go back here, and over to the right, what we have here is we're telling the robotic trader when we want it to trade. So we just simply, if you're on the East Coast, you set your robotic trader to start trading at 9:30 a.m. and stop. The first column is open new position time range. So between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., the robotic trader is looking to open new positions. The second box here is add shares to existing positions time range. So between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., the robotic trader is looking to add to positions for any given strategy. So depending on the rules of the strategy. The next box down below, this one allows you to do is, this is the close position time range. So between 9:30 a.m. and 3:58 p.m., the robotic trader is looking to close out profitable positions that have reached your goal. So that's how that one works. Then down below that, we've got three more, which is start closing all positions at the end of at this time each day. If you were day trading, you could simply check this box here, and the robotic trader is going to close out all of your positions at whatever time you want them to close at the end of each day. The next one is close open positions that have reached their goal. So at 3:45 p.m., the way this one is set, any positions that have reached their goal, which we'll get to in a few minutes, it will close them out and take the profit. Then we've got close open positions that have made this much profit. So the way this one is set up is anything that is up more than $50 at the end of the day, the robotic trader is just going to take the money, go back to cash on the position, and look for the next opportunity tomorrow. So that's how that one works. One more box that I missed is maximum symbols to purchase. So right here, you're able to tell the robotic trader how many stocks you want to buy. So this one is set up to buy 7 stocks. But each one of these systems will manage between 1 stock and 100 stocks. Each one of these systems will manage up to $2 million and 100 symbols. But most people will start off with 5 stocks, and as they see it working, they'll go ahead and add more capital and add more stocks. So I'm going to go ahead and click over to the next tab, which is called the Watch List tab. So on the Watch List tab, this is where we can either create a portfolio of stocks that we want the robotic trader to trade. And on this one, it's just trading stocks, Alcoa, Bank of America, Cisco, GE, Hewlett-Packard, Intel, and Microsoft. So once those have been input in there, we click Verify Symbol, and what happens is they show up over here on the right. So these are the ones that the robotic trader is focusing on. These are the only ones that it's going to trade. So that's 7 stocks total that it has. Now just to talk a little more about this page and how it works, we have over 500 indicators in here for people that want to build their own strategies. So some of the classes that we're going to have in the upcoming weeks are going to teach you how to build strategies using the strategy wizard and the robotic trader. So just to kind of demonstrate how to create a rule, and I'll show you this really quickly here. Yesterday's close price, we could click on that, is less than, let's say, $50, and then we just click Add Rule. So it's pretty simple on how to do that. And if you want to, let's go ahead and uncheck this. All right. So yesterday's close price is less than $50. So now what the robotic trader is doing is it's looking at the exchanges first, and then it looks at the sectors, and it sees that we've only got the Dow 30 selected. And then what it's doing, once we apply that rule, yesterday's close price is less than $50, we get 15 stocks in the Dow 30 that are less than $50, and they're all listed right here. So if we want to add another rule, let's say that we want yesterday's volume greater than 5 million shares. And we go ahead and add that rule. So now we have 14 stocks that are less than 5 million, or that are greater than 5 million shares. Now let's say that we want to narrow that down. Let's say that we want stocks that are between $40 and $50. So we can just very easily say yesterday's close price is greater than $40 and go ahead and add that rule. Now we have 11 stocks that are between $40 and $50, and they'll be listed up here. So yesterday's close price is less than $50, and yesterday's close price is greater than $40. And you can add as many rules as you want to. There's over 500 in here, and that'll be another class that I'll be doing here in the next couple of weeks, and really get into showing you how that works. So now we're going to go ahead and click over to the next tab. Now that we've identified which stocks we want to focus on, and we're back to the 7 from the strategy, we go to the Open Positions tab. So with this Dow 30 strategy, we're not using any open position rules. We're just pretty much range trading these stocks. But let's say that we wanted to at least know that the stock is going up at the time that we open the position. So what we can do is we can add a rule in here very simply that says today's I can find it here. Today's open price is greater than yesterday's close price. Let's say that we want to know that it's going up. So then we simply add that rule in there. Now we can add more rules in there and say today's current price is greater than today's open price. And you can create as many rules as you want in here as you would like. And it's all easy to do. It's all point and click. You just kind of have to scroll through and find where they are located. So that's kind of how this works. It's really genius how that works, and it's really easy to use once you spend some time familiarizing yourself with it. But the beauty of the system is you can start off with these strategies for simulating, and you can get a feel for how the robotic trader is working, and you can determine very quickly, what you like and what you don't like, and then you can change things accordingly. So this is the Open Position tab, and now I'm going to click over to the next tab. So now that we know what rules we want the robotic trader to follow in the open positions, once we've opened a position, there's 2 things left to do. 1, if it goes up, we're going to take profit. 2, if it goes down, how are we going to handle that? And the way that we've got this one set up, and you can set it up however you'd like to, is if any of these stocks, Alcoa, Bank of America, Cisco, GE, Hewlett-Packard, Intel, or Microsoft, if they drop 5%, then what the system's going to do is add another position. So it's going to trade a range on each one of those stocks, and it's going to do that for you. So that's how that works. So if the position drops down 5%, it's going to add another position, and as that stock is moving around at that other level, it's going to be taking profit at that level. Now, as it's buying and selling at that level, if it goes down again, then what it's going to do is open up another position, and it will continue to buy and sell for you as it's moving around in its range. So I'm going to go to the next tab now, which is the exit trade rules. So in the exit trade rules, these are mostly used by day traders who are looking, let me give you an example. if you wanted to say that my, I can remember where it is. I don't use any exit rules in my strategies, but if you wanted to set a rule that says my session P&L is greater than 2%, I can't remember where that is right now, but if my session profit and loss is greater than 2%, then close out all my positions, go back to cash, and then we'll go ahead and start again tomorrow. And that's something that you can do, and just an example of an exit rule. So now I'm going to go to the most important screen, which is the Profit Requirements tab. So the Profit Requirements tab, this is where we tell the robotic trader how much we want to make. So over here, the first box is the profit goal box. So here we tell the robotic trader how much we want to make. So just for an example, we've got this one set up. This is a pretty conservative strategy. We are looking for 8% is our goal. So 8% is our goal on any one of these positions. But we need a minimum of 60 cents. So the minimum is 60 cents that we're looking for as a profit goal. So if it reaches the profit goal, then what happens is it doesn't just close it out immediately. It defaults over to the next box, which is the pullback after reaching profit goal. So this particular feature, what this means is, let's say that we made 60 cents on a stock. On 100 shares, that would be 60 bucks. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to ride through that 60 cents, and it may go up to 70 cents. Once it hits 70 cents, it'll start to pull back. Once it pulls back 4 cents, is how we have this set, then the robotic trader is going to close out that position and take the money. So it's really a neat feature that we have here. And you can just, if you want to play with this, you can, excuse me, you can tighten it up and say 3 cents, or you can, give it a little more room, 10 cents. It just depends on the strategy that you're running and the stock that you're using. But 4 cents is fine there. So you can work off of percentages if you want to do that. You can always work off of percentages or a fixed dollar amount. Now we added another feature. After years, there's all kinds of things that have been added into the system over the years, all designed to take money. And one of them is we had a lot of people in the early days that would report that, hey, I was up $1,000 in the morning, and then it disappeared in the afternoon. So what we created was what is called profit protection. So what this feature will do is, let's say your profit goal is 60 cents on a stock. Okay, but let's say that you don't get to the 60 cents. You can set the robotic trader to say, hey, if I get 30 cents, I don't want to let that go. $30. So let's say that we get to $30. What's going to happen then is a floating variable stop loss will engage, and it'll continue to tighten up as we get closer to our profit goal. So if we reach our profit goal, then we get to the 60 cents, then it's going to default over to the pullback, and then it'll close it out when the stock pulls back. But if it doesn't, let's say that it reaches 30 cents and goes up to 35 cents and then turns around and starts going down again, the robotic trader is going to take the money. And that feature is just designed to prevent, if you're up in the morning and you give it back in the afternoon, that's really the purpose of that feature. So the next feature here is the stop loss feature. So if you're running a strategy where you want to use a stop loss, you can put that in here. You can work off of percentages. You could say, if I go down 5% on a position, close it out. And certainly you're welcome to that. We don't use those on most of our strategies because we're trading companies like Microsoft and solid companies that trade in ranges over long periods of time. So, if you can identify opportunities that trade in tight ranges over long periods of time, then, there's really no need for it. But you can certainly set that. If your strategy requires that, you can use it there. The next feature is the trailing stop loss. So what this one is in a long or buy trade, the trade will exit if the price drops from the highest price it achieved during the trade. So that's another feature that can be used, and you can set that for whatever you want, but just another feature designed to take money. And that's really what we're trying to do. Is we've got all of these great features in here, and we can never make the stock market move, but anything the stock market's going to give us, we're going to keep taking money, and that's really the key. That's what we're trying to do, is take as much money as the stock market will give us. So then the next feature here is the re-entry pullback. So what this one is, and it's not being used on this particular strategy, but let's say that you just made 60 cents on a stock. Let's say on Bank of America you just made 60 cents. So you just made $60 if you're trading 100 share lots. So you just made $60, and you don't want to get back into that position right away. You want to wait for it to pull back. So you could set this, and you could say that you want that stock to pull back at least, let's say, 25 cents. And if you wanted to pull back at least 25 cents before you open up another position. So you could just set that there and say, okay, I just made my 60 bucks. I'm going to wait for Bank of America to come back down, and then I'm going to go ahead and open up another position. So it's really a neat feature that's available that you can use. If you're range trading the stocks, you can decide if you want to use that one or not. But really another really cool feature. You can also work off of percentages too. So you could say, all right, I just made 10% on Bank of America. I want Bank of America to come back down 5% before I open up another position. So really cool how that works. Now, a couple more things in the strategy wizard I'd like to show you is we've got predefined tables in here. So there's all kinds of things that have been learned over the years, and we've really designed this to be as easy as possible. Everything in the system is all point and click. There's no programming required. And once you participate in a few of these classes where you can actually learn how to build strategies, there's so much that you can do with this. But really it's a canvas, and you can do whatever you want with it. But we've got predefined tables in here, and this one here is add additional shares to profitable positions. So if a stock is going up and you wanted to add to your position as the stock is going up, you could use these predefined tables. And you could say, for example, if you were using this feature here, you could say, if the stock goes up 25 cents, I want to add another 100 shares. And you could keep adding to your position as the stock is going up. We also have predefined tables which have already been built for you to, and this is just a starting point if you want to use it, but to, statistically give you the highest probability for success, you could use this predefined table, and the robotic trader would add accordingly. So then we also have the declining preferences table. So if you were running a strategy and you wanted to add on 25-cent drops, so let's say that you're trading Bank of America, which is, $11.50, I think, on Friday. And if it drops down to $11.25, you want to add another 100 shares. Then, every 25 cents that it drops, the system's going to know, hey, he wants me to add another 100 shares every time it drops 25 cents. So that's how that works. And then you just tell the robotic trader on that first page how many positions total you're willing to own, and it's going to follow those rules perfectly for you. So it's really a beautiful thing. And when you select a strategy, for simulating, you're going to learn a lot from the robotic trader. And certainly you don't need to know all of these things when you're first starting off. We'll get something working for you for simulating, so you can start learning how this system works. But there's so much that you can do with it. Then we've got a predefined table here down below if you want to use percentages the system will calculate, if you want to use the predefined table, when to add to those positions for you. So that's all kind of built in here. And certainly you can use these features if you would like to. Let's see. Other things to show you. I mean, these are for more advanced classes, but you can create timed indicators, so you can determine, when to get in and out of positions based on timed indicators, which are available. Certainly, you don't need to know how to do any of that out of the gates, but we will be teaching you how to use those down the road if you'd like. Set symbol files. If you wanted to import stocks that you've identified using other platforms that you'd like to pull into the system, you can use this feature here and it'll pull them in for you. And then, find sectors and help. So, with the help button, it's gonna give you a detailed explanation of everything in the back of the strategy wizard. So if you have questions on anything, you can get explanations on what all of these things are, and it's really nice to have that ability as a quick reference. And you can always call technical support too. So our technical support team, we have two departments. The first department is technical support setup. So those are the guys that are going to set up your trader and get it working for you. Then we have a strategy support department for you. And the strategy support department, they're going to be able to help you, talk to you about some of the strategies for simulating for educational purposes. And then they're going to allow you, kind of help you decide what's the best strategy to start with for you. And then if you have questions about tweaking a strategy, making changes to a strategy, or building a strategy, you can always call the strategy support department. So we try to make it as easy on you as we can. I'm going to go ahead and back out of this strategy here, and I'm going to talk to you about this particular box here, which this is the gateway to the strategy. This is the gateway to the strategy wizard. So when you click on this icon, when you've downloaded the software, there's two important icons: Launch Start CoolTrade and Launch Start Strategy Wizard. When you launch the Strategy Wizard, this box comes up. So when you buy it, you go ahead and click on that first, and then you're going to select one of the strategies that comes with the system for simulating and educational purposes. So you put a check mark, say, next to the Dow 30 Long simulating 20,000, or the Dow 30 Long simulating 50,000. And these are just example strategies. So you put a check mark next to it, and then you can go ahead and launch Start CoolTrade, and it will begin carrying out that strategy for you so that you can start learning from it. And one of the beauties of this system, one of the great things, is that you can start off in simulation mode. So in simulation mode, we want you to learn how the robotic trader works, and we want the robotic trader to prove itself to you so that you can see the value of actively trading the stocks without having to risk your capital, starting off. We want the robotic trader to prove itself to you, and then once you see that it's working over a period of time and it's earned your trust, then you can make that decision to go live and put your money to work. So that's how that goes. A couple of things to show you here. So got a check mark next to this particular strategy. If you click the options button, what that's going to allow you to do is a couple of things. One, if you want to just look as a quick reference at that strategy, it's going to go ahead and give you a quick look at the strategy, which is telling you it's trading 100 share lots, max shares to buy is 500, max symbols to purchase is 3, and it's just going to kind of walk you through the start times and stop times, and what the profit goals are and the profit pullback. So it's just going to kind of give you an overview of the strategy. So that's the first one. So if you want to look at it as a quick reference, you can here. The other thing you can do is click Copy Strategy. Now what this is going to allow you to do is go into the community board, and if you click up here on the top button, you'll be able to scan through and see different accounts, and these are people in the community that are willing to share their strategies, and some of them are willing to share their results. So it's great to have access to hundreds of strategies for those of you that want to look and see what other people are doing in the community. You have the ability to do that here. So let me just show you one example. Some people are willing to share their strategies, and some people are willing to share their strategies and results. So let me see if I can find one here. So this person here is willing to share his strategies and results. So he's got $51,790 allocated, and his monthly return average is $4,937. So if you want to see what this particular person in the community is doing, you can just click print strategy, and it's going to tell you he's trading 1,000 share lots, and then it's going to give you all the parameters here for the strategy, and then down below it's going to tell you what the watch list rules are and what the open position rules are. So it's pretty cool to be able to look through that. And as you learn more about the robotic trader and technical indicators and how all this works, it really is great to see what other people in the community are doing and what they're having success with. So if you want to copy a strategy, let me just show you how to do that real quick. You could just, say you find one that you like, and here's a conservative long strategy with no stop loss. Let's say that you're interested in that. You open it up, and it's trading 100 share lots. Let's say that works for you. And maximum shares to purchase 500, maximum symbols to buy 10. And then you look at the rules. And this is one of the strategies, this conservative one, that was developed in 2006 by another user in the community. And it has so many rules. Think about, just give you some examples. Yesterday's close price is greater than $2. The total number of bullish indicators is at least $2 greater than the total number of bearish indicators. The average true range is greater than 3. So what that means is looking for stocks that are moving at least 3% a day. The average true range is greater than 50 cents. So those stocks he's looking for are moving at least 50 cents a day over the last 14 days. The average volume, 50-day average volume, has to be greater than 250,000 shares. Institutional ownership percent is greater than 10. The 10-day simple moving average is at least 35 cents greater than the 20-day simple moving average. My point to this is, can you imagine doing math on 8,000 symbols and determining which ones meet your criteria minute by minute? That's really the beauty of the system, is it will tell you in 2 seconds, it'll apply these rules to all 8,000 stocks and tell you in 2 seconds which ones meet that criteria. So maybe there's 60 of them that meet your criteria. Then the robotic trader goes to the open position rules. So today's NASDAQ move has to be greater than 0. And then all these other rules are in here on this conservative one. All of these rules have to be true in order for the robotic trader to open up the position. Pretty amazing. I mean, when you add up all of these rules here, it's impossible for any one of us to look at any number of stocks and do this math second by second or minute by minute. It's virtually impossible. But that's what's so beautiful about computers, is they can do this very easily. So they can decide, this is the optimal time to enter this position. And, if you have exit trade rules, based on the technical indicators, it can tell you the optimal times to exit the position based on your rules. So, this is it's a very powerful, very robust system. There's so much that you can do with it, and it's really, we really believe that, this is the wave of the future. And everybody on this call is, if you're running an auto trader now, it's not going to take you very long for you to see the value of, how this system works and how it's really going to benefit you. But if you want to copy a strategy, say you like that one, you would just simply place a check mark here next to the one that you want to replace and click Copy Strategy. And once you do that, then it would bring it in right here, and that would be the new conservative long strategy. I'm not going to copy over this one right now. But it would just pull it in, and then you put a check mark next to it, and the robotic trader would begin carrying out that strategy for you. So that's kind of how that works. Now, when you want to close this, you've selected the strategy that you want the robotic trader to start running. Then what you do is you launch Start CoolTrade. So what's going to happen then is it's going to open up the program, and we give you a data feed that you can start with right out of the box. So you can begin simulating right away. So you don't need a broker to start simulating right out of the box. But once you, once you decide to open up a brokerage account and set it up with TD Ameritrade or E-Trade or Interactive Brokers or one of our broker partners, then what's going to happen is we can just set it up so that it's going to bring the data down from your broker, and you can continue to simulate, or, and this is the page here where you select your broker. And let me talk about this for a second. The watchdog over here to the right, this is always to give you the status of the program. It's going to tell you what's going on. So the CoolTrade system is actually 12 programs all running together in unison. And so it's always going to tell you what it's doing. So right now it's performing client login, and that's the page here. If you want to hide that, you can just click hide. So you're always going to start off simulate without a broker, but if you have a broker account, then you could just click simulate with TD Ameritrade, and then what it's going to do is pull the data down from your TD Ameritrade account. So then you would just enter your password here, and then what's going to happen is it's going to bring up a little box where you can enter your TD Ameritrade username or password. And then once you enter the username and password, then it's going to pull down the data, and it's going to open up your trader, and then it's going to start carrying out your strategy while it's connected to TD Ameritrade or any of our other great broker partners. So this is the page you see, so you can see it starting to connect to TD Ameritrade. And then what happens here is we get a little box. And in that box, you enter your username and your password for your TD Ameritrade account, and then it's going to go ahead and log in. And then the robotic trader is communicating directly with TD Ameritrade, getting the data down, and the two are working together. The robotic trader will actively trade that account, with TD Ameritrade. So that's how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and click exit there. And just to kind of recap, we're coming up on an hour here, and we'll do some question and answer. What is the value of actively trading stocks? And my apologies, I have a new PowerPoint that I'm just finishing up, which I'm gonna update, and I'll use next week. Just for those of you that are new to the call and the technology, this is just an example, and this is one of the first classes that I did, and this is a few weeks ago. The price of Microsoft 10 years ago was $25.85. The price on this day that I did this screenshot, it was $27.36. So if you bought and held that stock for 10 years, you didn't make any money. I mean, you made a little bit of money. That's it. If you would have actively traded that stock and you had a strategy that would trade this range between $25 and $30, you could have made hundreds of % return on your money by actively trading it. So with a simple dollar up, dollar down strategy, I'll just kind of give you an idea here. So this was calculated 11/28/2007. So the price of Microsoft on 11/28/2007 was $32.92, and the price of Microsoft on 11/27/2012 was $27.37. So just to give you an example, if you bought and held that stock for 5 years, at that time you would have lost $556. If you would have used the CoolTrade system with a simple dollar up, dollar down strategy, you could have traded that stock 47 times for $4,494 in profit. So, you know, actively trading the stocks is very powerful, and those little profits really add up over time. Here's another example for educational purposes here. Halliburton. This is one that a lot of our clients like to trade because it's pretty volatile in a pretty tight range, and that stock trades typically between, you know, $30 and you know, $50, but most of the folks that are trading it between $30 and $40. So this range right here. But the price of Halliburton 5 years ago was $36.68, and once again, this is a few weeks ago, for my apologies. And the price today, which was you know, a few weeks ago, was $32.41. So buy and hold, you lost money. CoolTrade would have traded that stock, and remember, this one's more volatile, with a simple dollar up, dollar down strategy, 155 times for $19,120 in profit. So, you know, those little profits really add up over time. And the beauty is, and really the most amazing thing about the technology is that it does all the work for you. Nobody has time to do this during the day. I mean, this would be a terrible full-time job, staring at computer screens, deciding when to get in and when to get out, and dealing with all the emotion. You know, when you can treat it as just numbers going up and down, and just let the system do all the work for you, I mean, really, that's the beauty and the power of it. And there's a million examples. I'm just giving you a few. And certainly, you're going to be able to go and look at different stocks and companies that you like, and you can look at them, and you can look at their range over a period of time and say, I really like this one. I want to trade this one. And you're going to learn how to do that if you want to. For those of you that just want to start simulating with one of the systems or one of the strategies right out of the box, you can do that too. This is another one, United States Oil Fund. 3 years ago, the stock was $39.15. The price a few weeks ago was $31.79. I think it's back up to about $35 now. But you know, just trading that range, you know, you would have lost $7.83. You would have lost less now because it's up to about $35. But you know, CoolTrade would have traded the stock 103 times, $10,767. And that dollar up, dollar down strategy, what that means is, you know, let's say that you were trading a stock that was in a range between $25 and $30. So if the stock drops to $34, you're going to add another lot. If the stock goes up, you're going to take profit. If it drops down to if it drops down again, you're going to add more. If it drops down again, you're going to add more. If it goes up, you're going to take profit. And just as it's wiggling around and moving around in the range, those profits add up. Those little profits just, you know, add up over time. And that's really the beauty of it. Have time for it, and that's how this technology is going to change, you know, the way the middle-class investor approaches the stock market. The money is in actively trading the stocks. If you can find a good strategy and you focus on good companies that trade in solid ranges over time, you're going to do great, and you're going to love the technology. So with that, we're just approaching an hour. I'd like to open this up to some question and answer. And I thank you all so much for your time and your attention. And I hope this has been helpful. And you can always email me with more specific questions at nick@cooltraderpro.com. But Doug, are you still on the line?
I am, Nick. That was really fabulous. And if you want, I can read you some questions if you want to answer a few questions here. Yeah, I just want to say it's great. That I'd recommend people keep coming back to this, and also you do have a training that's pre-recorded. This is live, and it was asked if you sound so good, people don't even believe you're live. But
that's very kind. So,
I know this.
I could spend 8 hours on this, no problem. So I try to give you as much information as I can in a really short period of time. Remember, the beauty of it is you can select a strategy right out of the box, and it's going to start doing its thing. But as you see it working and as you begin making money, you're going to want to spend more time learning how how this system operates and how it works, and you're gonna love it. When you have success, you're gonna want to learn more about it, and certainly we want to provide that education to you.
You guys are great. The support with the company is fabulous. Got a question from Gary. It says, how does slippage affect the system?
Well, that's an interesting question. Really, okay, so what slippage is let's say the robotic trader wants to sell a stock at a given point in time. So let's say that you reached your profit goal, let's say on Microsoft, for simple example, let's say $27.50. The order is sent over to, let's say, TD Ameritrade. What he's referring to in slippage is, so you think that you're going to make this, but you may lose a few pennies by the time the order is filled. And slippage can work for you or against you. Slippage, we deal typically with high volume companies, and we don't have much of an issue with it at all. But if you're dealing with companies that are more obscure with less volume, say 70,000 shares a day or 50,000 shares a day, you can have more slippage. But if you're dealing with companies like Bank of America, which 200 million shares a day exchange hands, you're not going to be subject to much slippage.
Great, awesome. Appreciate that. You got a lot of high fives and kudos, and it's a beautiful thing, and the program looks great from lots of people out there. Question, hi from Norman Nancy, and they ask as well, in the strategy window you were showing one called Dow Long for simulating $50,000. I have one running called Dow 30 strategy. How do you know which one is the better strategy?
So what we've done, and let me bring you up to speed on this. So over the years, when you if you were one of the original people that bought the system in 2005, there were no strategies. So it was really a platform for people that were active traders that really knew what they were doing to be able to build a strategy from scratch and have the robotic trader carry out that strategy for them. That was what it was really designed to do. Over the years, as people began to share strategies, and as the system continued to improve, and Mr. Barsano became, learn more and learn more, people started sharing strategies on the community. So one of the things we did is we put 5 long strategies and 5 short strategies that have been working for years, and they work very well over time. But one of the things we're doing at corporate now is we wanted to simplify this a little bit. So we've just kind of gone, if you're looking at the screen right now, starting probably Monday, anybody that downloads the system moving forward is going to get these 5 strategies for simulating, because it really simplifies the process for everyone. So everybody, who starts off, typically, they're fine with starting off with the Dow 30 stocks and the Dow 30 companies. So we kind of set up some templates which are meant to be starting points so that you can start to learn from the robotic trader. So the Dow 30, the Dow Long is, this is one that is kind of developed for people with $20,000. This one here is a template for people with around $50,000. This one's a template for people around $100,000. And then there's Bank of America, and this is a simulator for a $10,000 account. And this $1 to $2 strategy is for a $5,000 to $15,000 account. So we wanted to simplify the process because we have so many people that are coming on board, and Ed's really humbled by this, and really we're so excited to get this out to the middle class investor and the folks that can really benefit from it and get the technology out to everybody. So we wanted to simplify it with these great strategies which are meant for templates to start learning. So there's several versions of the Dow 30 strategy that are out there, but these are the ones that people are going to be able to check right away when they download the software moving forward. And then that's just meant to streamline the process and cut back on some of the questions and so forth. So,
great.
Norm and Nancy, I'd love to talk to you and see how yours is doing, and I'm happy to talk to you about that as well.
Great. Next question. Some have been answered already. Brian asked, what type of fees are associated with opening a broker account so you can trade?
Okay, good question. So our broker partners are fantastic. I'm not going to tell you to go with one over the other, but I will provide you with kind of the what they charge. So there's three that give you a little better data, and those are Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade, and MB Trading. So TD Ameritrade, for anybody that goes and opens up a TD Ameritrade account, typically $9.95. We used to have a special offer with TD Ameritrade for CoolTrade subscribers where they would get $5 trades. And it's a promotion that expired 3 years ago. But if you call them up and you tell them, hey, I'd like to open an account with you. I'm a CoolTrade subscriber. I'd really like you to be my broker. You can call and talk to them, and people are reporting back to me that, oftentimes they are honoring the $5 trades. So for TD Ameritrade, it's $2,000 to set up an account. So if you wanted to simulate with their data, you would just have to set up that account with $2,000. With Interactive Brokers, they charge $1 a trade up to 200 shares. So up to 200 shares, it's $1 a trade, which makes automated trading so affordable. So if you had a strategy and you were just trying to grab $50 bills with your profit goal set at $50, if it costs you $2 for a trade, $1 in, $1 out, you got $48 net. And you could set your profit goal at $52 so that you net $50. It doesn't matter. It's so affordable. TD Ameritrade, if you're using more money, it makes a lot of sense. If you're trading 500 shares or 1,000 shares, if you can get that $5 deal. Interactive Brokers, if you're trading 500 shares or 1,000 shares, is about $5. So they're about the same price if you're trading more shares. MB Trading is also $5 a trade. And they're all great broker partners. E-Trade, too, it works great if you have an E-Trade account. I think they're $9.95. All our brokers are great, but that's kind of the summary of the most used ones right there.
Great. Question from Dr. John up north of us. He wants to know what 6 languages is the program working in?
Okay. So the beauty of the internet is, you get out there, and CoolTrade with very little marketing has 14,000 subscribers in 40 countries. And that's all people that were searching on the internet. If you typed in any one of about 40 different keywords for automated stock trading or robotic trading, CoolTrade comes up first. So, over the years, as he started to bring on people in, different countries, he saw the need to add some other languages. And I don't have that list in front of me right now. But it's not in Chinese characters, but I think it's translated into German, Portuguese. I'm going to have to get the list and email it up to you, Dr. John. So there's 6 languages that it is in, but we are working on getting it translated and using Chinese characters in the near future.
Beautiful. Let's see, just a couple more. Jim's having a little challenge. Does this program disable my Explorer? I'm not able to use Explorer since I installed this on Windows 8.
Okay, so if you're having an issue with that, then what I would do is just call tech support, and I'm actually going to put Patrick on the spot. Call Patrick, and you can call him at the 480-563-0620 number, and tell Patrick what that problem is, and he'll go ahead and fix it for you.
Great. And I think you might have answered this, but I'm not exactly sure. Nick. Kay Lou wants to ask how to copy my supporter's strategy. So I know you talked about how to copy strategies from the system, but what about from maybe their upline?
Yeah, so let me show you how you would do that. So, okay, first of all, your sponsor, if he wanted to share his strategy with the community, then he would need to click the file button here, and he would have to click on maintain friends list. Once he clicks on maintain friends list, he can check this box right here, which is allow all CoolTrade members to copy my strategy. Once he checks that box, he clicks save changes, and then the whole community would be able to see his strategy. If he just wanted to share it with you, he could put your email address in here, and then you would have access to it, but everyone else would not have access to it. So that's how that works.
Wow, that was pretty cool.
And then, so once that's done, then what you would do is you would go, you would open up your strategy wizard. You would click options next to the strategy you wish to replace, and you would click copy strategy. Then what you would do is you would go up here and you would find that person that you wanted to copy from. So let's say that it was Frank Coolidge, and you wanted to copy his strategy. You could just check on the one that you wanted to copy and then put a check mark next to the one that you want to replace in yours. So this says copy strategy from, and this says copy strategy to. You put a check mark next to it, and then you go ahead and rename it over here, whatever you want to call the strategy, and then you just click copy strategy, and it's going to pull it in for you. Then what you do is just put a check mark next to it, and the robotic trader will carry it out immediately.
Great. So let me ask a question I have with that. Will that then populate one more long strategy, or will it eliminate one?
You have to select the one that you want to eliminate.
Okay.
So, you know, not all the 5 strategies that you have here are going to be ones that you're going to want to keep. The reason we have 5 here is so you've got some flexibility. You can copy a strategy, and you can have one line where you're building your own strategy. You can have one strategy that the robotic trader is running, and you can have another strategy that you're modifying. So it just gives you some extra flexibility.
Great. Awesome. Jim just popped in a question that I think it's because, well, you can answer it. He doesn't have the Dow long strategies on his screen. He has the aggressive long, SMA long, swing trade, $2 stocks and below, an SMA long swing trade strategy. How come my screen doesn't look like yours?
Yeah, so we just decided to do this on Wednesday. So because a lot of people want to start off with these Dow strategies while they're learning. So what Ed is doing, what CoolTrade is doing, is they're making this the master file. So anybody that downloads the system moving forward is going to get these strategies to start off with. Now the ones that you have are very good strategies, but they're like some of them are like watching grass grow, and they're long-term strategies. So over the years, you know, we wanted to shorten the learning curve, and I think these strategies will help shorten the learning curve. So what I would do is call strategy support, and we'll go ahead and get one of these in there for you, Jim. Call us on Monday, and we'll take care of that for you.
That's awesome, and the tech and the strategy support, what a great group of people there. So appreciate all you're doing.
You know, everybody is working like 16 hours a day, so I just want to make this note that I really appreciate everybody's patience and understanding as we are continuing to staff up and train. So, you know, Henry's been working, I mean, the guy will be here from 6 a.m. and he'll be here till 11 p.m. He'll drive, you know, an hour, he's got an hour commute home, and then he'll be back at the office at 6 a.m. I mean, everybody just loves, you know, Henry and the guys on the team, and, you know, he really takes the job seriously, and he really wants you to have a great experience with us, as we all do. So, we're really committed to, giving everyone a good customer experience here.
And you do that, and Henry is amazing. The guy just has given up his life to get this off the ground and help people, so he's fabulous. Do you want to give the number for corporate so people can have that information?
Yeah, it's 480-563-0620. So when you call in, you're going to ask for either tech support if you're having an issue with, or if you need assistance with setting up your system. Once it's set up, then you're going to want to talk to strategy support, and they can just kind of talk to you about some of the strategies for simulating and, kind of some of the logic behind them. Really what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks is, I'm going to put another course up on the website, which will just talk to you about how to identify opportunities. You can pick the stocks you want to trade, but we're going to kind of give you the knowledge that you need for educational purposes to be able to identify good opportunities for your robotic trader to work on for you.
Wow. You guys are doing an amazing, amazing job. This training, I don't believe, was recorded, correct?
I didn't record it. Usually Sunil records them.
Right.
If somebody did record it, please send me an email at nick@cooltraderpro.com.
I did not. So yeah, I did not. So it probably was not recorded. So, but you can. I know you've recorded them, and they are available on the website CoolTraderPro.com and learn more. Correct?
Yeah, there are a couple that are recorded. If you'd like to reference them or watch them. And we're going to add these classes onto the website so people can attend them when their schedules accommodate. And we want to have a lot of information out there so you guys can take full advantage of this amazing technology and really get comfortable with it and really understand the philosophies that are used and once you understand the reasoning behind some of these strategies, I mean, they really are game-changing. So, it's very, very exciting stuff.
I agree. And I just want to, for everybody on the line, for everybody that's part of this company, just want to personally thank you for making this available, this software available to all of us, and this opportunity available to all of us to capitalize not only on our trading portfolios, but also with a business that is just rocking. So I appreciate you guys for all you're doing.
Doug,
Thank you.
Doug, just out of curiosity, that strategy that you're simulating, you got to be pretty happy with that, right?
Oh, it's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I am ready to go live, so I've got to talk to you quickly another time after this call. So it's returned about, again, I'm simulating everybody's returns are different. I've shown it on some webinars. This is fabulous. It was close to about 10%.
I haven't heard how you're doing, so go ahead and share that with me. How are you doing?
It's returned about $4,000 as of the day. I didn't check yesterday adding to it. $4,000 on trading somewhere between 35 and 40,000 that was actively being traded. So that's pretty special.
In what time period?
It was just under 4 weeks.
Just under 4 weeks? That's amazing. And which stocks are you trading out of curiosity?
5 stocks with the simple strategy. They were Halliburton, Microsoft, J.P. Morgan, Facebook, and Bank of America. So 5 stocks, simple. It was set up with 300 share lots, and it was set up to take the profits after 35 cents with a 4-cent drop back, and it was set up to buy another lot with a 4% drop, which it's done.
Did you make any buy-sell decisions on your own, or did the robotic trader do everything?
I'm keeping myself out of it so I can be successful.
Very good. That's yeah. So when you get the right strategy in the robotic trader, you can see the value, and I love to hear these stories. And we're adding a community board with the new site that's coming out. So I want the community sharing these types of stories so that we could get them out to the organization. We really want to share as much information as possible, so that we can, have as many great success stories as we can and really grow this. So we're very excited.
Absolutely, and people have loved your training. Lots of kudos in the back office. So thanks for giving up some of your Saturday here, and we appreciate you doing this every Saturday between these hours.
Yes. So same schedule. So, and then I'm going to be rolling out Class 2, Class 3, and Class 4 for those of you that want to understand everything under the hood. So, you know, we will be able to do that for you.
Unbelievable. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody, for attending. Nick, you guys are amazing as always. Appreciate all you do. So have a great day.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time on a Saturday. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And